Well, joining us now is Dr. George Schofield, and we are talking about grandparenting today in Focus 50 Plus. And this is such a rich subject that we made it 2 parts.
We did.
We're back to talk about more today.
Good. So let's begin, because this is really a lot of information, by talking about the fact that our grandkids are not going to be the same. And there's not going to be a there in the way that we had the experience. We graduated from college, we were there, we could get a job. We got married, we were going to have a family, we were going to buy a house. In fact, our grandchildren may not live their lives that way. One of the hottest properties in the United States at the moment are in big cities. They're about 500 to 700 square foot condos with dog washing facilities, and bike storage rooms. Their lives may be very different. So it's important to understand that. We had a sense of there. Our grandchildren may not want or have that sense of there.
That's really interesting. Now, we're also talking about what type of grandparent you want to be.
Right.
So how early do you need to decide what kind you want to be and really commit to it?
Right. Well, I think you have to decide early. The fact is that grandparenting can be seen across a whole continuum. It can be seen as, oh, I love to have my grandchildren come, I love to buy them teddy bears, and I love to have them love me, and I love to take them out for ice cream. At the other end of the continuum, some of the much more engaged grandparents are saying, hey, my grandchildren are going to have to be adaptable, and my grandchildren are going to have to be really creative in the lives they live, because there isn't going to be a there in the way that we knew it. So it's going to be really important for us to step up and decide, where do we stand on this continuum between, the benefit is really to me as a grandparent, I love to hold my little grandchildren, versus I have a 15-year-old granddaughter, which is true for me, who's really a grown-up young woman. How do I help her? I have to decide.
And so then as a grandparent, grandparents, what steps should they be taking?
Great. So here's the clue, folks. The clue is, 1, remember they're only your grandchildren, not your children. We had our choice, we had our chance. It isn't that we can't contribute, but in effect, our grandchildren and their parents are the cake, we're the frosting. Second of all, we have to find a way to invest in our grandchildren and decide what we want our legacy to be. So the legacy could be, I'll give you my example. When my 15-year-old granddaughter is 30, I want her to be able to walk into a room with people she doesn't know and have both confidence and adaptability. Therefore, I give her the experience of that now. She may never tie it to me, that's okay, but that's my legacy.
Wonderful.
The next really important point to understand is you need a lot of one-on-one time with your grandchildren as much as possible. And it doesn't that it's every week, but it may be that you only see them twice a year, but it's very intense and it's very rich for you. And finally, it's really important to understand that in many ways, since you're going to be the frosting and you're going to frost the cake, you can do things that they wouldn't otherwise be able to do, they wouldn't otherwise be able to experience. So my grandchildren go to camp, and they have different experiences with different people. I'm hoping that grandparents across the world will invest in their children that way.
Wonderful, definitely wonderful insight there. Of course, Focus 50 Plus is every Monday. Dr. George Schofield, you can find more on his website right there. And we thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.